Hello, welcome back to Rawkode Live. I'm your host, Rawkode. This is our Clustered KubeCon special, part 2. Today we have 3 clusters, all broken by people joining us on this call. We are going to work in teams to fix them as quickly as we can. Before we begin, I just want to encourage you all to subscribe to the YouTube channel and click the bell. This will get you notifications for all future episodes. If you're not watching live, or even if you are, but you want to chat about cloud native, Kubernetes, or anything in between, come and join the Discord. There's a few hundred of us in there now having a bit of fun. And lastly, thank you to Equinix Metal, my employer. They allow me to do this on their time. Feel free to check out the platform by using the code Rawkode. All right, let's get started. Today, I am joined by Thomas and Kris. Hello, Thomas and Kris.
Hey.
All right, so let's start with you, Thomas. Do you want to just say hello, let us know quickly who you are, and then we'll move on and get started for today.
Sure. I'm Thomas Stromberg. Once upon a time, I was a Minikube maintainer. I work at Equinix Metal now, working on Tinkerbell. So looking forward to this. Feeling a little rusty in Kubernetes debugging, but I think we're going to have a time. So.
It's all right.
Nice.
The breaks are always really simple. You won't need to know much, I promise.
Oh, yeah.
Kris?
Hi. My name's Kris Nova. I am just a computer person who does computer things, and I'm here to play with Kubernetes with some new friends.
There seems to be a lot of comments in chat talking about how everyone feels sorry for Thomas and I and your cluster, and I believe some people may have watched you stream this break during the week, so they probably know what's coming. But we'll...
Yeah.
Okay, well, let's just get started. We are a little bit late today. We just had some technical hiccups that we have all resolved. We're going to jump onto Kris's cluster first. So Thomas and I will be pairing on this. Kris, we will ask you for help as we need. Feel free not to laugh too loudly, please, but we will do our best.
This is going to be great. We're gonna have a great time. It's going to be a lot of fun.
All right, I have my screen shared. We are floating heads. I am going to open a connection onto the control plane node. I can see that we have a message of the day. Thank you for that. Always appreciated. Thomas, can you join the session and give me echo hello so that we know we have a shared buffer?
Oh, you're going straight into the node. Oh, wow. Okay.
Well, I will use the Kubernetes admin token to try and execute a get nodes or get pods. We'll see if we have a working control plane and we'll take it from there.
I am here. I got coffee. I've got some kombucha. Let's do this.
All right. Thomas, you're muted right now.
I think
you're...
Thomas is muted, yeah?
Yeah, you've muted yourself, mate.
Sorry about that. All right, so I tried to connect in and it made my own session. So how do I share your shell?
Of course. On the left-hand side, there's an active sessions. If you can click on that, please. You should see there's only one there.
Active sessions. Okay, I will join that one.
I'm just going to get us... well, I just had that weird screen blip, which means you're in a session. So I will give you the honors, Thomas. Feel free to type get nodes, get pods, whatever you want, and let's see if we have a working control plane.
All right. Woo. Okay. Wait.
We do
a lot here for this, and it answers. So that's one of the more impressive things that I've seen here. So, all right, so scrolling up, I see a lot of Novas.
Interesting.
Okay, so we have a lot of stuff here. So one of the, let's see, what's the thing to no, it's the thing to dump all the config to a file again. Cluster info. That's what I'm trying to do. All right. Okay, so yeah, we got a lot of junk going on here.
I love
All right,
watching. I've already learned like 3 things just watching you so far.
Well, so as I was talking to, I mentioned this before the stream that, when I broke a cluster previously, I realized that one of the things this is like is it's almost like investigating a security incident. Like you've got a parasite in your system. So I'm trying to collect some information first.
You're doing great.
Now,
In which case, like, I feel like I left a good amount of clues. So this is going to be really fun. I'm stoked to see how this plays out.
yeah. So this is really weird scrolling behavior, though. All right.
Yeah, just reload the page. It'll fix the scrolling behavior. It does happen randomly.
Okay.
It's really annoying.
I got it. Sort of. I have it. Sorry, I can't see the bottom of my screen yet. There we go. All right. So what is the test to see the, what do you call it? Isn't there like a WordPress app or something that we're supposed to do to see like how it works and to effectively say, is this thing healthy?
It looks like
what is your grade for is this healthy? Is this running?
I would say if you can get the WordPress app or whatever it is that Rawkode has in his repo, you can get that running, and get the cluster into a state where it'll continue to run. I will buy you a steak dinner.
Okay, so we do have a clustered pod running in the default namespace. Whether it's actually running or not, I'm not sure. Whether we can even upgrade it to the version 2, I'm doubly not sure.
All right, so
what is FLS?
So one of the things I'm going to do is basically make a, since I know we're dealing with a kernel hacker here, I'm going to make basically a dump of the file system and a dump of all the file system changes recently. So FLS is part of SleuthKit, which is showing my age a little bit, but
I put this on easy mode. If I would have known we were really going to be doing this, I would have made this a little bit more fun for us.
All right. So I'm just collecting information before mutation here. So so for instance, what I'm showing, this machine was installed recently.
Yeah, these are cluster API clusters that were spun up a few days before. So
I don't know when. All right, I'm just going to start with. So for instance, I can see that the most recent changes on the file system are basically here. It's basically sorted order of changes of the file system, and I'm going to collect it for later. I do notice some bizarre things already here. I see a systemd change here. It looks like some files were edited in this directory with vim. So yeah, anyways, let's go to now that I've collected the data, how do we get you, can you drive a little bit for how do we test your WordPress app?
Yes, we can definitely do that. So
all right,
what I would normally do is run get pods. And I should have just used my alias, but there we go. Well, okay, our app is...
So it's gone.
Gone.
Yeah, okay.
And just for the record, yeah. I really like the fact that they're all in crash loop back off. That was by design, and I'm just really happy with this aesthetic right now. So this was a big part of my work.
I love that you got it to deliver a message all nicely lined up. That's pretty special.
So where do we find your app to deploy?
Okay, so I'll need to just switch over to do that locally, but we can do that.
All right.
Okay, clustered. This is cluster 22. And I can just run just workload and we'll see if it works.
This is what I love most about this. This just gives me the warm and fuzzies.
So it did create it. At least it says it did, but running get pods on teleport is a big no-no. Which makes me think I don't know yet. Right, are we speaking to the real API server?
Are we speaking to the real API server?
Yeah, so I'm going to run my just workload again. I want to see if it says changed or created. Okay, it's saying created. So we're getting the API server, we're getting a response, but nothing is changing state in the cluster. So. So let's take a look.
I'm not quite following here.
Sorry. So can you see my screen at the moment?
Yeah, I can see your screen, which is the same as my screen. Okay.
Yeah, so on my local terminal, which I need to deploy the application, I ran just workload twice. And you can see here we're getting created and created. So like, I don't think it's actually being created. Otherwise we'd see unchanged on that second deploy. So while we are speaking to an API server, we're not, something's not happening on the back end. So we need to work that out.
All right. Interesting.
Yeah.
It's somewhat difficult, though not impossible, to have a fake API server, but what is going on here? Are we talking to the API server on the right machine?
Yeah, so I think we probably are, based on the fact that Kris didn't know we were going to jump onto the node and use this token. So I think...
Yeah, I mean, the certificates match and everything else, like...
Yeah, so I think this is a real API server. I'm assuming we've maybe got... if it was like an emission controller, it wouldn't say created on our side. So it must be something else. I can see Kris just giggling.
I'm not giggling. I mean, to be fair, like Thomas is the hero. Like the game's kind of already over. But like I want to see how you would go about fixing this, because this is going to be really cool. And I think this demonstrates a lot of. I mean, like I'll just let you guys go through it. You're doing great. You're gonna find it.
All right. I'm gonna go first with identifying the weird things that I saw in the file system.
Okay.
And hope that will give us some of the interesting bits here. And so we have this wonderful bash script that I saw earlier, which is highly suspicious here.
It's highly suspicious, and to be honest, I was anticipating this being the last thing we found. So watching you approach this the other way is going to be really fun. I'm literally like tickled right now. This is great.
Yeah. Oops. Okay, so what did we do here? All right. Oh, so you did mention, oh, you are evil.
Is this an API server aggregation?
This is, yeah, look at this. Infected API server. So yeah, you were, oh, what did you do to my life? Oh, okay.
I'm sorry.
So there's a lot of evil happening here. Let's see. What are we gonna do here? All right. So, okay. So I see. So I'm basically just dumping a list of, here are all the images on running containers. Let me actually do this a little differently.
Thomas, I'm going to have to get that FLS command from you. That thing saved the day here. That's the real hero of the show. If everybody here walks away with that copy pasta from Thomas, we're...
If you ever have to deal with infected machines, now there's probably better things. This is what I used like 15 years ago, but
yeah.
Let's see. So So infect API server. I mean, that seems to be like one of the first things to kill, I guess.
Well, can we check some of the basics first, right? Like,
yeah. Let's check the
so
basics.
if we look in the static manifest, like I expect to see an API server here.
Yeah,
immediately
you can see it's been
a date's different.
Modified.
Yeah. Okay. There we go. So
it's with that. It's that temp file we saw.
Yeah. So we could use kubedm just to reprovision the API server phase, right?
Yeah. So I'd wonder. Now, here's a question that FLS can help. The FLS data can help identify. Was the original copied? Was Kris nice enough to copy the original one anywhere else? I actually looking at the script, it doesn't look like she was.
I have a copy. I have a copy.
Yeah.
I can send you one as well. I just have to go in the other room and get it off my local machine.
Okay. So yeah, I think that's. Can we kill that infect pod and then?
Well, we can remove the API server from the manifest directory, which the kubelet will then get rid of it. We can either copy the kube API server from another machine, or we can try and fluff our way through the kubedm commands, which I think is in it. Oh no, help! Is there not phases? Phases. Hold on, I'm trying to remember how to kubedm.
There's a phase for just dumping the config. I think.
I'm sure it's init phases something. Why did I not remember how to do this?
So a clue would be if you can just get rid of the container, that little everything I put in the comments. That's really the only mutation you should care about. I put a big block around it, so it should be safe to say if we can get that code block to go away, we're back. Jurassic Park is back online.
Well, that pod should already be deleted because we removed the static manifest.
Okay.
Sorry, what did you say there?
I thought that pod would be away because we removed the static manifest, but then I can see in kube system we still have a kube API server. Oh, that's just a real API server. Can we edit that? Oh, no. That can't be right. Yeah. Wait, did I not delete this file?
No, we haven't deleted this file yet.
I did.
Oh, did it get reinserted by
a mysterious force? I think so. Oh,
no,
sorry.
Well,
on you go.
This is great. I love watching the teamwork here. How we have kernel introspection coupled with Kubernetes expertise, because this is good. This is good stuff.
I am so sure I did an RM on that file to remove that.
I did not see an RM.
Right, let's do it again. We've always got the copy and temp, right?
Maybe I just wasn't paying attention, but yeah. Haha, it's there again. Excellent. So I think it's basically just reinserting itself. Yeah. Wonderful.
What's the E attribute?
Beats me, but it could just be the same as others. All right, so we have unknown processes running on this machine that are mutating this file. So we could use like auditctl or something like that to actually watch the file system changes. But then I have a lot of copy pasting to do, and I don't have auditctl memorized. So,
but so there's like 3 directions I can nudge us in, which would be going about Kubernetes and what we would want to look for there and how we could find some introspection there. There's the things on the file system we've already found. There's some more clues in there as well. And then ultimately, I think, like I said in the beginning, that first FLS, that's like, you got the keys to the kingdom right there, baby. Like that's got all you need.
Yep. All right, so let's go ahead and disable some of these random things we found in the file system. And I saw 2 suspicious systemd services, one NTP and one Nova. So let's go ahead and look at those. So,
and I did name everything very politely, if that makes sense.
All right, so system. So we have this Nova service that starts that up, so we can table Nova. There we go. And we've got this NTP service that was a little suspicious, but maybe not that suspicious.
It's clean.
Fairly normal.
Yeah, that should be fine.
All right, so
we did a system control disable, but I don't think that stops it, right? We'll need to stop it as well.
Yeah, you're right.
And do we think that's responsible for putting the dodgy manifest back in this directory?
Yeah, it at least has the capability of putting dodgy manifests in place. Let's see.
There we go.
Well done.
All right.
Well done.
So since we know the calling card, anyways, I'm just going to look here and see if there are any suspicious other things. I see there is in the root directory also a Nova, but that might have just been development.
Yeah, there's a couple of like.
What is with this? libnova?
Okay, yeah. I'm happy you found the calling card. You've done this before, haven't you, Thomas?
I've investigated break-ins before. That's about it. Not in a long time.
Yeah,
all right,
no, you're
so
crushing it.
All right, so I might have broken something. I hope I did.
Go for it. Try to list. That'll let you know. Just try to list, and you'll get it real quick. Try to do anything on the file system. There you go.
All right, so we found. I forget.
And so this is where ldco.preload. That's the one.
Yeah. Okay.
You can just echo empty to it, and that should fix it.
Yeah.
Beautiful. And list.
Hey. Okay. We got Perfect. One interesting, bizarre thing out. Okay. Next is. All right, so what do we got to do now for looking at...
Well, we have no API server. Oh, no, we do.
We have an API server, but it's not really the right one. So I don't know what config you use to generate, like what the options were for your kubeadm cluster initially to create a new one.
Okay, I will grab an API server manifest from one of the other machines.
All right, and I'm just gonna, okay, so. So what I'm gonna do is just look contextually if there were any other interesting events in the changes file around Novas here. And I see the
All right.
I see the LD so preload thing here.
Do you mind if I paste in this manifest?
Yeah, go ahead and fix the manifest.
Yeah. Thomas, share that FLS command with me.
Sorry, your reputation preceded you, so I knew
Yeah.
roughly
So this
what
is
kind
one
of
of
evils I might encounter.
You did well. This is one of the things we spent. It was like last night and the day before. We spent a couple hours, like me and some of the guys on Twitch. I'll say guys, but folks on Twitch, and it was like, should we name these like more conspicuously? Should we have a common calling card? Like, how much cleanup should we do? And we kind of were like, let's keep it fun. And I think this is I'm thoroughly impressed. This well done. Getting the rest of the cluster to clean up is not impossible. It should be pretty straightforward here once we start digging around.
My teleport's not typing anymore.
Yeah. Didn't David send you the message that this was supposed to be an easy one?
No.
Oh, okay. He told me I should make it an easy one, so.
I said because it was time boxed, we should take it easy.
Oh, sorry. Well, if you're interested, I can kind of guide us through the rest of this really quick.
Well, no. We're
yeah,
good.
let's keep
okay, my Firefox is crashed.
Breaking it or breaking it more.
So can you, if your teleport's still working, I think there's a couple more IP addresses that need changed in that file.
Yeah. My teleport session's still working here.
Yeah. I need to get mine back up. And really, a lot of this is prior art from other scenarios I've gone through, and if there's a lot of good Easter eggs and good like tips and tricks. So I was hoping, and we already got one of them, which is that fabulous FLS command. I was really hoping folks would walk away from this knowing that there is some things to watch out for. And let me grab this. But really, in that static manifest, now that it's not being overwritten with that errant systemd service, you really should just be able to delete that one container and the clusters. Then it's just cleaning up the cluster at that point.
Yeah.
Okay, so that should be a working, hopefully, API server. Can we delete the X file?
Yeah, you can delete the X file. That's fine.
All right, let's check for. Sorry?
Don't like you. All right. So what are you looking for here? Oh,
I'm just waiting for the API server to come back up.
Static. Yeah.
So in theory, we should. Oh.
It should.
I'll let you type, Thomas. Does that mean we can run get pods and actually see?
Yeah, let's see. So
we could probably just delete that whole namespace.
Yeah, let's see. I'll do this the old school way, I guess. The first ones.
You can do -- all now, Thomas. You can do delete PO or delete namespace now.
Oh, yeah. Well,
as long as there's no admission controllers running in that namespace with other objects with finalizer, it will be fine.
All right, I'm just going to do it this way.
Do it. I love seeing somebody really proficient on the command line like this. This just touches me right in that like soft place in my heart that nobody ever goes.
All right, so those are terminating. We still have some of the default ones, but that's fine. I'm not. I'll leave your calling card there. I accidentally killed 2 of them, but whatever.
I'm curious to see if they come back.
Yeah, me too. Still terminating. That's not looking good.
They should. We'll see.
Yeah, they're done.
It looks good.
Yeah, that namespace is all cleaned up. Yeah.
Cool.
Oh, well done.
Do you want to try your deploy again and see if we have a healthy deploy?
Yep. Unchanged.
I'm excited. Yep. Yay. Good job.
And they're running.
We got Postgres and Klustered, and I guess the last thing is to verify connectivity.
Well, I do edit deployment Klustered.
We
should be able to
upgrade. Where are you editing?
We always try to test that.
Okay.
Which I suspect will work fine, and then we'll port forward and see. I'm so impatient.
So I have to ask, since I didn't disassemble your library or even really dump any debug, what?
/temp. Go check out
patching.
Go check out /temp. I figured if you were looking, /temp is like I feel like if I put it in /temp, that's the difference between hacking and security research is leaving things in /temp.
Exactly. Well, I saw there was the temp Nova directory. I haven't looked at what else, or the file, but I haven't seen what else is there. Is it the
I left it
temp.nova?
very. Yeah, you should just list everything in temp, and it's a hidden file called .nova. I think it might be obscure.
It might be obscure.
And yeah, I loved it's very polite in there. There's even a lovely make file for you as well.
Excellent. So let's.
Yeah.
I guess before we drop off, I want to quickly browse those files, but so far things are looking too good to be true.
No, you did great. Honestly, I mean this sincerely. You knocked it out of the park. This is well done.
All right. So let's see. Oh, damn. Well, okay. So there was the .nova file where. What all files were there in temp?
How do we get back? Are you back in temp? I don't see.
Yeah, I'm in temp, and the .nova was the.
Look for a different file. Just list long temp, everything in temp.
Okay. Obscure. I see. Temp obscure.
There you go. And this is. I even think the shared object should be there. There you go.
It is. Hiding the process. Okay.
This is a very common. We thought about doing an eBPF something or other, but this is just good old LD preload, and that was kind of like the big talking point I wanted to get here.
And yeah, I can see that in my PS that I did earlier, the Nova did not show up. So
my heart was beating out of my chest when you did that PS. I can't even, and it didn't work, and I was like, oh, I've got them. I fucking got them. And then it was, and then David was just like, oh no, you got to do a system cuddle stop, and I was just like, that's gonna get it, even though that the PS didn't show it.
Cool.
Yeah, no, well done. This is great.
Thanks.
All right. Well, our port forward didn't work to browse to the application. Does that mean there's more to find?
It should. I didn't touch the network.
All right.
You're welcome.
All right. Good job, Thomas. That was
thank you.
That was nice to watch.
Yeah.
FLS is now going to be stuck in my brain.
So SleuthKit, it's an old technology, but there are many other things. But one of the nice things about FLS is that it also notices deleted files because it is dumping the raw ext file system data and not just relying on the current state. So
Nice.
So check out, if you go to the root directory and look at the bash RC, I hit there's a bash forward in there, and I made a couple of assumptions with this, one of which was that if you were looking at the raw block device logs in any form, like with FLS, you were going to get everything. But even if y'all were to exit out of this and come back, it's going to clean up after you on the way out. Check out .nova in here. I hit it somewhere in there. I don't know where the pointer is.
Yeah.
There you go. That very last line. Yeah. So yeah, I mean, it was superficial clean, but really looking slightly deeper into the Linux system, you were going to get a lot. And I think this is good.
Nice.
Excellent. Thank you for setting up this scenario. It was fun. It exercised a lot of muscles that haven't been used in decades. So
great.
All right.
And
Kris,
I think what do I do? Tell me what to do.
No, if you've got something to say, go for it, and then we'll jump into Thomas's cluster.
Yeah, I'm trying to figure out how to open up Thomas's cluster. I'm here in the teleport browser. So I just go to root and click on connect. Is that what I do?
Hold on, because I got logged out when I restarted Firefox. I'll start a session just so it doesn't flash your IP address on the screen. Because if I go to active sessions, your IP will be there. Well, let's just do
okay, yeah. Yeah.
So I'll open the control plane, and if you go to active sessions now, you should be able to see that at join, and then just type echo hello or anything like that.
Okay, so I see a few seconds ago, I see two of them. I see Rawkode, options, join.
Oh, because I did have one when I was copying the API server. So if the one you've just joined is the correct one, because my screen flashed. So
let's see.
So right. I'm gonna have to admit, I was not nearly as creative as you.
Okay, no, that's good. That's good. So I didn't really know what to expect, and I kind of live in a bubble. Like I've taken a step back from kind of what's going on in cloud native and Kubernetes and everything. And so like really all I knew was here's a kube config and an SSH cluster and break it.
Yeah.
And I was like, okay, well I've got some good, horizontal attack vector tools, and I just kind of put together a fun scenario. So I have no idea what to expect here, and I don't know very much about you, Thomas. So like you're gonna get to watch me fail now.
Yeah. We'll just say everything's working just fine.
Oh, great.
Well, I have exported kubeconfig path and aliased kubecontrol to K. So if you want to run get nodes, get pods, or anything else, Kris, and we'll see where we're at.
Well, I feel like I should return the same favor of collecting before mutating. But I don't even know if that's gonna be necessary. But let's I'm just gonna just check out the state of the cluster. I think we'll start at the top and work our way down. Whereas I think we started at the bottom and worked our way up the last. So let's get pods in the default namespace, and I'll run the command that I wanted I wanted you guys to run. So that looks good.
So you both managed to drop a message in to get pods.
It's tradition at this point.
Yeah. Wow. Okay. So like now I'm wondering, should I be collecting information on the file system here?
Well, he says he kept it simple. Maybe
I kept it very simple. I'll say there are no rootkits on this machine.
Okay. Well done. So then let's see what we have here. So let's get we'll get all in the kube system namespace and see what we got here. And I'm just looking at this point. So everything looks fine. It's all running. The control plane looks good. Yeah, so no crazy restarts. I mean, already the things I did were sticking out to me like it's sore thumb. I had 2 containers running in the API server, 14, 15, 16 restarts. Let's get namespaces, and let's see. We have Rooksef, we have Metal LB. These all look fine. Celium looks fine. And I guess the success criteria here would be, if I scroll up, we do not have our application running. So I'll do the same thing that we did on my cluster. David, could you please deploy your application and see what happens?
Indeed.
And I have to ask, was the pod honk? Whose idea was this? Where did this come from? Okay.
Well, we got etcd server. This database space exceeded, so we can't write to etcd in order to deploy our application. So we've seen this before on Klustered. Sorry, on you go.
Can you go back and show that? I missed whatever you just said.
So we've got etcd is complete. We can't write to etcd to do the deploy, and it's because the database space has exceeded.
Okay. Let's see. I just want to check out our file system here, if that's okay. This all looks good superficially, and I'm gonna trust Thomas here that there's no rootkits and that nothing. That these are all actual real numbers.
So the last time I seen this error on this show, the problem was either I think the attributes are changed on the etcd file, so it couldn't be written to, and then the other one was someone modified the etcd configuration, which actually has a size attribute, so which says we can only write this much to etcd, and then it stops accepting anymore. So I think we'll need to do that. And I have a cheat sheet that I always use for etcd because I can never remember etcd. So I'll get that set up for us.
I'm also curious about these honk pods as well.
I don't know anything.
Apt install etcd client.
I don't know anything. I love this. Oh, this is evil. I was so mean to you guys. I'm so sorry.
That's okay. So I've broken one other cluster for Klustered, and I did get excessively evil in that one. So I was encouraged to keep it simple this time. And
you destroyed the boxes so much we couldn't get on to fix it.
So I mean, like I was like what else do we want to do here? Do I recompile a kernel and like put a new kernel image in the bootloader? Like what are we doing here? And I just was like, my promise to myself was we'll stop at the layer right above the kernel. Like when I started entertaining the idea of loading kernel modules or eBPF probes, I was like, nope, Nova, that's just, you can't be that mean.
Yeah.
Okay, so yeah, back to fixing that etcd. Let's see what we got here.
Yeah, so etcd, we now have a working client, so we can speak etcd if we need to. It doesn't look like the files have been modified, but of course we know that means nothing on Linux.
Yeah, you can. Linux timestamps are adorable.
Yeah, I think on the part 1 today, all 3 of us modified all the date times on the static manifest, so they can no longer be trusted.
I thought about doing that, or like mutating any of the inode features, and I was just like, no, we'll just keep it nice, keep it real.
Well, I don't see anything weird here. So
can we check out the etcd logs? I just want to see what the etcd logs are saying in the control plane.
Oh, there's 2 of them. Let's try.
You can tail star. If yeah, there we go. Dialing connection refused. That doesn't look right. What's going on? 2379. That's the etcd socket we're listening on, right?
Yep.
So what's going on with that? Can you hit that socket? Can we send data? Can you nmap that? What do we got? Who's screwing with my network?
We can, because we can run an etcd get. So we are successfully able to speak etcd. We got some data out.
What command did you just run? Etcd cuddle?
Yeah, get and then pass in a path, and this just pulls out the Kubernetes service.
Okay, cool. Okay. And it's still saying it's unable to write. Where does etcd write to?
So if we take a look at the static manifest, we will see that it's writing to, I think it's varlib etcd. There's a host path in here. Yeah, varlib etcd.
Well done, thank you.
And you can just delete any of the files in here and it'll recover just fine. Don't worry.
That didn't sound sincere. So these are all 62 meg files.
Okay. So this is effectively the etcd database.
And was yeah.
Can you type history? I just want to see if we have anything there in the bash history. Yeah, let's see what else we got here. Scroll
yeah, this is just error stuff.
Okay, that's clean.
So there is, because I only know this because it's happened before, but there's an XCD max database size thing that I bet has probably been set.
Yeah, I don't know. My work with etcd is really limited.
So I'll at least give a hint that might help.
Sure.
I didn't SSH into this machine at all.
Of course you didn't.
Well, okay, so I SSH in to verify that I could SSH in, but I didn't do any mutations over SSH because I wasn't sure how to SSH in to begin with anyways. So,
Me neither. I did everything. I just
over APIs.
As did I. I just privilege escalated into one of my hack pods for everything I did.
Yeah.
Have we lost our API server?
I don't know. Check and see. Allow. Yeah, that looks fine.
Oh, good. That's not working.
So I would be willing to say that because etcd is not responding, the API server's hanging.
This IP address is wrong. Was that a cron job change? That would have been sneaky.
I'll say there are no cron jobs on the system. And no systemd services. I tried to keep it very different this time.
Did you use systemd services last time?
Yeah.
Nice.
All right, so it looks like
so we can't hit localhost. So we were able. Can you just try to list? We tried to list pods and it's hanging now, correct?
Yeah, unless I am losing my mind. We were able to list pods. We've seen that Thomas has inserted all those pods that said honk. Obviously, there was some sort of timer thing happening, so maybe it's a Kubernetes job. But
yeah, there's no timers that I implemented. Just keep in mind that oftentimes the API server gets really grumpy if etcd is grumpy.
Yeah, that's. I mean, the API server in general can take 30 plus 60 seconds to kind of get back to a happy state sometimes.
Oh, we've lost
etcd server
quorum.
Failed to apply request. No space. It's no space again. It's got to be something. Somebody flushed a large amount of data to a pod somewhere. Maybe I'm assuming those honk pods. If we get rid of those, I would hope that it's something like they're just writing a large amount of data somewhere to the API server, like in the form of a label or something.
Okay, so we need to be able to shut down those processes then.
I think getting rid of the honk pods would be a good first step. And then I also like the idea of trying to just flush etcd as well, but I don't know how much of the persistent state of the cluster we would nuke if we just started manually messing with etcd files. Again, etcd is like I haven't really had to debug it in dev.
My recommendation: do not use the file system. Use the etcd client.
Yeah,
that seems really reasonable. Desperate.
That means I have to know how to work the etcd command line application. Is there an interactive mode? Do we get a shell? No.
No. Can I drive for a second?
Please.
I typed and nothing happened. Oh, there we go.
Yeah.
I want to see this really quick. And the connection was refused. And let's ps aux grep cube. And which container runtime are we using?
Containerd.
See all these new fancy container tools. I don't know what these kids these days are doing. Okay, so let's look and see. I want to see what would be the Docker PS for
so we can do cry control socket. Okay. I can't remember exactly. This might work.
Yeah, I can tell you've done this before. But then you have to add PS at the end.
Oh, it's runtime endpoint, right?
I remember in a previous episode, Malin showed off the, you can just set the default for setting the runtime endpoint in the cry-cuddle config to save keystrokes later. But I saw it and I was like, okay, I should remember this. And I don't remember how he did it.
Oh, there we go. It's containerd.sock. So there we go.
Done, thank you. Okay. Yay. There we go.
Cool.
So we have etcd. Well, we have, what is speaker?
That's metal LB. So we can ignore the speaker pod.
And etcd was recreated 39 seconds ago.
And attempt 135. So etcd is, it's rather unhappy.
So what's going on? How do we look at this? I want to see what this container is. How do we do a Docker inspect on this container?
So we can look at this.
I'm assuming this
manifest.
Wait,
this is it all here.
See, we should have dumped the cluster when we could have. This is why he did this. I should have learned. I should have been paying closer attention.
So we could just try an etcd compact, which would remove all the deleted items from it and bring the database size back into hopefully enough to get it started.
Yes. Go for it.
It's just compact, isn't it? Yeah, okay. Number? Oh, how do I pick a number?
Needs one argument. Just do.
Required revision has been compacted. Can I list?
I have no idea. No idea what you're doing.
Me neither. So let's try the defrag command too. Like very 90s. Let's try that.
Yeah, defrag's fun. Let's do it.
Is there really an etcd cuddle defrag? Is this
Yes, there is.
I'm buying a farm and moving. I'm buying some goats. I'm so done with tech. I'm done.
All right, well that failed miserably.
Context deadline exceeded. That's a Go error.
Yeah, so you should check out the alarms as well. That's a kind of a cool feature of etcd cuddle. And and the health. Those are all really great things.
Oh yeah, so there's the no space alarm.
Yeah.
So how can we list all of the? Is there what would be like an etcd cuddle du is what we want to do? What's the etcd cuddle version of du dash h?
Yeah, we're getting warmer.
Yeah. I don't know. You're gonna have to help me here. I genuinely don't know enough about etcd. I can start to Google etcd du or etcd cuddle.
Yeah, I'm not sure there's a du. If there is, I would love to learn about it.
Yeah, I don't know. This is just what I think. Basically, I'm assuming etcd works like any database, and it just writes some sort of block abstraction to regular old ext4 disk, and I'm sure there's some way to browse and explore those files, and that's what I want to do. Whatever etcd and those guys have called exploring their proprietary block abstraction, let's find that and let's do that.
Well, it looks like we can get something called a revision test key.
Sure.
So we have some people
etcd.
on chat talking about disarming alarms and increasing size quota.
Yeah, I was Googling how to increase the size, but I haven't found anything yet.
I'm like literally like getting started with etcd, etcd.io is where I am right now. Yeah, also my Twitch chat seems to think that etcd db size is limited and timescale db. Did you run out of disk space? No. Tawny, while we're not out of disk space, I'm talking to my Twitch friends. Yeah, I don't know. How do you? Let's see. I'll tell you guys what I'm googling. etcd cuddle size quota.
All right, I found something under maintenance docs, so will we give that a bash?
Space quota. etcd -- quota backend bytes. What's that?
Well, that didn't work. We couldn't get the current revision so that we could work out how to delete the old revisions. This has an alarm disable. I don't know if we can just do that, just to keep it happy. List, disable, disarm. The alarm's gone. Does that mean etcd's happy?
Try to get pods. That's our control, right?
Okay, get pods. All right, so we can just disable the alarm. I don't know what that does with the database quota though. I don't know if it's going to come back, but I wonder if we can do the revision command now that I copy and pasted. Or is that still going to give us a, still got a contact deadline, so etcd's probably not very happy.
Thomas, did you privilege escalate into something with etcd cuddle, mutate etcd alarm size quota, something or other? This isn't you didn't actually flush a bunch of frivolous data to disk. You actually just told etcd to misbehave. This is fine.
Well, the alarm's not coming back, and we do have a working API server, so maybe we can ignore it.
Try to
and delete these honk pods.
Yeah, delete the honk pods. I'm gonna. Well, you have the cursor right now, but I want to dump the cluster config now and look at the events in Kubernetes and see what this guy's been doing.
All right. Okay. We still can't write to etcd, so we are going to have to try and change the database size.
Let's see. etcd cuddle change database size.
I don't like it when people mess with etcd, just for the record, Thomas.
Yeah. So this is a learning opportunity. So I'll note that you did buy yourself about 10 seconds of runtime. You've already squandered it.
Turning.
But...
Oh, right.
Yeah.
etcd ctl database size.
Yeah, everybody in my chat is like, we were too nice when we broke our cluster. No, this is good.
So I'm going to give an interesting tidbit here. One of the fun things about etcd is that it's the way that it's set up. It's listening on a public IP and port.
The etcd and the etcd server itself is listening on a public IP that's reachable if the node is exposed, but it uses its own internal auth, and that's where all the TLS etcd certs management comes into play.
Correct.
So are you saying that you are just flooding? Well, like I don't know. I want to start checking into seeing how etcd is actually mutating the file system and seeing if you're truly filling up our file system, or if you're just filling up what etcd is told is the limit for its file system. So yeah, try to set that right there. Set that to something substantially larger. That's huge.
Oh, because it's in a container.
Yeah. Exec into the etcd container.
I don't know if we can do that with cry control. Yeah, we can. Okay.
Exec IT, copy the name of.
Yeah, it's not there just now.
Oh, that's probably what's happening is the container crashing, and that explains the restarts of the API server as well. And
it's not coming back.
Look at the API server. Oh, we can't.
Come back at CD. I'm not sure. Yeah, it's not going to work. Wonder, oh, we can just add it here.
Yeah.
So that should get restarted by the kubelet. And
check the kubelet logs, journal cuddle fu kubelet. My favorite command to type.
I'm not sure if I see anything etcd-ish here.
Where did you edit the etcd pod manifest?
Yeah, oh, it's in a back off state, so it might take a bit longer to come back. Although I think maybe that's it. There.
And can you check the alarms again? I want to see if that alarm came back.
We can't speak to etcd yet.
Yeah. Oh yeah, because it's not running.
Yeah. I wonder if that number was too big. Maybe I'm making it worse.
That's 16 megs. So change that 16 to 1024. Nope. Get rid of that. There you go. That's a gig.
Fail to delete.
So if you do, I guess it'd be interesting to see what crycuddle is showing nowadays for.
Yeah.
Yeah, so.
Oh.
I mean, we can always just restart the kubelet and try and encourage it.
Yeah, go for it.
One of the questions I have is whether, like, I didn't realize you could do shell expansion in the YAML command, in the kubectl command. I didn't realize it went through a shell. Is that in fact true?
Where did we do shell inspection? Did we tilde when we should have homed?
Yeah, and here, when we pass the arguments in, that's not going to work.
Can you actually do that? I've never done it. So, but I would be surprised if the command ran through bash.
That's a very good point. Yeah, just change that to if it's in bytes. There you go.
All right.
And restart the kubelet again. And can you list pods or containers? Docker PS, cryocuddle PS?
Yeah, we still
Still
can. Or it's not attempted to start etcd yet. Kubelet
So
logs
you should
function.
be able to.
What's the
Kubelet
node?
nodes not sync.
There it goes.
Let's see what containerd says.
Oh, it just came back up.
Yep. There it is. Yay.
Disarm.
Well done. And K get pods. And delete those pods quickly, quickly. K delete all now. God damn it.
All right, I guess we're going bigger.
All right. All right.
Sorry for swearing on your. I don't know the rules. This is like corporate something. I'm not allowed to swear like a sailor. I don't think people get mad at me.
No, there is a code of conduct which explicitly states you are allowed to swear, but that's about all that's accepted.
Okay.
I'm going to give a hint that the pods are just a red herring.
So something else is filling up etcd.
Yeah, if you look at the pod manifest, you'll see it's just a sleep 86400.
Okay.
All right, so making that number bigger and restarting the kubelet to restart etcd was probably pointless because the thing is still running on the system. All right, how do we find this rogue process then?
Is it? If it's a rogue process that he put on the system, I mean, we can start looking in the process tree. I want to look and introspect and see like what has changed on the file system in the last day, in the last 2 days, the last 3 days. Thomas is shaking his head no, though.
Well, actually, I know because he gave us a hint, right? He said that this listens on the public thing. So let's. Oh no, because it's got to speak with the other nodes too. So how do we? If you got something running on your own machine that's talking to this etcd,
perhaps IP tables might help.
Perhaps IP tables, yeah. List IP tables cap L. Let's just see what we have there.
And like, look, you may want to see who all is talking to etcd.
Telnet Tulpin would at least tell us what all is listening, and where it's listening.
So do we want to do a netstat and look for things on port 2379?
Yeah. Sure. Cluster.
What flags do I need for netstat to get more here?
Tulpin. I usually do Tulpin, but you can do whatever.
Do you want to type? Because I'm not sure what flags you mean. All right. Okay.
Yeah. So all those acts might be suspicious.
Right. I guess so that 157.131.124.242 is an IP address we should maybe block. Is that an IP address?
Yeah.
Yes. Well.
Yes. So it looks like he's doing something to etcd from wherever this IP is, which that looks like it's a public IP. I don't recognize off the top of my head.
All right. So should we just add a drop from that IP?
Sure. Go for it.
All right. I'm going to have to Google IP tables now.
Yeah, I was going to say, I wasn't expecting to see the hint in the netstat. I was expecting that you were going to have to look in TCP dump or something of that nature. But
so you did mess with the network.
Okay, so we'll just do 157.
You can do
4
AS
24. That no?
You can do a 30, or yeah, that's fine. J drop and run the netstat again for me, please. last act.
Shall we restart etcd to would that flush those connections?
Yeah, go for it. Thomas, did you grab the Go ahead.
I was going to say, I just noticed in another window that something that I had been observing has changed state. In that I can no longer connect to it. It can no longer connect to etcd. So
I see. You did put something outside of the cluster. So okay, I was polite. I put in a teammate backdoor in that container that I could at least host exec through, but I didn't I'm not running anything on any of my local boxes. That's just not nice.
I thought this was easy mode, Thomas. Come on.
Yeah.
Just a very simple denial of service attack. That's it.
All right.
Did you
But now you still have to. So I can it's no longer mutating anything. So
sure. So whatever it was mutating. Yeah.
All right. So we have etcd, endpoint health is now responding.
This is cool. He DOSed etcd on the public port on our cluster, which was preventing us from scheduling work in our cluster because etcd was filling up. So I think let's try to tidy up etcd. Let's get the API server healthy, and obviously I want to start looking at other networking rules in this infrastructure, but we can talk about that later after breakfast.
I will say you have solved the main root cause here, although you still have to clean up after it.
Right.
So the home pods are gone, or at least they're going. So that's a start.
Well done.
Was there anything else on this system that we?
Can you list containers really quick for me? Okay. Thank you. And try to run your deployment one more time. Sorry, I'm just barking commands at you. I apologize.
Oh, no, please do. Let's make sure. Yeah, I think.
Yeah,
it's happy.
So the key here was actually you increasing the space for etcd, and combined with the lack of my scripts to DOS the data.
So can I just confirm something, right? That is how etcd works.
Right.
On a kubeadm cluster. So anyone could do that to any public etcd that they found.
You have to have the certs.
All right, okay.
So
That's what I was worried about. Okay, so.
Yeah. So the takeaway here, to kind of play it back, you scheduled a pod, you grabbed etcd certs from the system, because we had root. Once you had the certs, you then effectively, etcdctl is a well-known tool, so you used etcdctl to hit what you knew was a publicly listening TCP port, and from there you had the keys to etcd, and you just decided to pick on etcd for us.
Yep, just flooding etcd with writes.
Lovely. Okay, so can we just check a few things here? I'm just curious why we're here. This is a great learning opportunity. Can you go back to that main directory where those .w files, whatever they were, the etcd writes?
Yeah, the var lib etcd and the write head log. So member.
Yeah. There you go. And can we just see how big these are now? I'm just curious how much of etcd of these writes are being persisted and how much of them are still there.
So etcd by default will, at least as configured here, will only allow 2.1 gigs of data to be stored. So yeah, it's pretty trivial to flood that.
Interesting. This was a great exploit. Good job. I did not realize etcd was this subject to flooding, but again, the certs this is a really good one.
Yeah,
I was going with TLS flooding instead, but it seems like etcd is no longer an issue for etcd to a lot of the DOS attacks I had considered no longer worked.
I see. I remember hearing some HPing floods on a couple of the Kubernetes components back in the day, but I haven't actually seen anything like this. So I'm just like, can you just share a little bit about your flood? Just like I don't have to see it, but I'm just curious. Were you just able to write like a megabyte of data and just flood that in a loop or something?
Yeah, that's basically so etcdcuddle has a put command, and you can put random keys. In fact, you can actually just keep putting to the same key, and etcd will store each revision. So it's a dd of dev random into etcdcuddle. And so you can use
you piped dev random to etcdcuddle.
Yeah. So you can use so we talked about compact and defrag, and we showed those off earlier. And had I only been writing to the same key, that could have helped. But I decided in the end actually just to write to random key names as well, and it was no longer as helpful.
Interesting.
Awesome.
Great.
I've learned really an awful lot from both of you today. So thank you very much for joining me. I don't think we have time to give you my cluster, so I'll maybe open it up to people on Twitter or something. I don't know yet. Because we've already went over time, I won't keep you any longer. But thank you both for joining me. There was lots of knowledge here shared, and I appreciate that. And I hope you both have a wonderful day. Any last words?
Thomas, I'd love to catch up after this, and like nice to meet both of you face to face. But yeah, this has been so much fun. Thanks for inviting me. I had so much fun with this. This was really good for me. My therapist agrees. This is good for me.
Yeah, same. I learned a lot just from not only building the case, but seeing the case solved. So and as well from your evil that could have been really brutal.
So I'm glad I kept it where I did, and I left like a good set of breadcrumbs for you.
Yeah.
I will do a write up on mine, and I'll probably do a write up on yours as well on my blog after all this.
Sounds good.
Awesome.
I'll send you the commands.
All right.
Cheers.
Well, thank you both again. Cool. Have a great day, and I'll speak to you soon.